in Bojo, Mr. McLeod Mondaya, Mr. McLeod here, and today's lesson we're starting a new unit, and so we're starting off our unit with an inanimate noun possession unit, our lesson. So we're expressing ownership today. So when expressing ownership, we have to consider who owns what, and when we think about who, we have to think of our pronouns. And if it's singular, plural, animate, inanimate, whatever. So our nouns, we have to consider the genders. So a noun is a person, place, a thing, or idea. We have two classes of nouns in Ojibwe, animate and inanimate. For Nishnaabemwin language learning, again, I find it easier not to attach any meaning to the terms animate or inanimate. Just think of them as category A and category 1. Neither supersedes the other, and neither is alive nor dead. One of the problems with associating words like alive with animate in Nishnaabemwin is we come across examples that don't align with our current English understandings of nouns. So the way to find out if something is animate or inanimate is to ask a speaker to pluralize the noun. Singular refers to just one of something, and plural refers to more than one of that same thing. To tell if a noun in Ojibwe is inanimate, the plural suffix has to end in an N sound. For example, an for mkakan, boxes, iin, ninjin for hands, oon, kwakwadon for balls. Keep in mind, not all nouns we've learned in this class are universally accepted as animate and inanimate in all dialects. Some examples we discuss here today might be inanimate in another dialect. So our pronouns. So first person singular is 1PS. That's the linguistic symbol there. That's first person singular. And that is, in Ojibwe, means neen. And that is the I or me. So that's when you're talking about yourself. Second person singular, 2PS. That's geen, and that's when you're talking about whomever you're directly talking to. So that's the you in our sentences. Next we have third person singular, 3PS. And that's ween, that's she or he. Ween can be used for either she or he. Next, we have fourth person, and this could be either singular or plural. So fourth person is someone else's stuff. So, for example, you can talk about the baby's toy. So the baby's third person, the baby's toy is the fourth person. Or you could say the man's dog. So the man is third, and then but his dog is the fourth person. Or dogs, because it could be plural. Next, we have first person plural. So that's neenwin. That's the we exclusive. So we're excluding whomever we're directly talking to. So it's like a us but not you kind of we. 2-to-1 person is second and first person. So that's the we inclusive. So that's when we're including, like when we're talking about everyone doing the same thing together. And that's geenwin. Next we have second person plural. So in Ojibwe, that's geenwa. That's all of yous, or use guys. You might hear me use all three of those throughout this unit. And the let's see here. Then we have third person plural. That's weenwa. That's they or them. So when you're talking about a group of people external from whoever's participating in the conversation. And that's it for today. There in pronouns. There is another one, but we're not going to get into it in this lesson. So pronoun ownership. So morphology is how we understand the formation of words. For example, how prefixes and suffixes affect the meaning of our words. Today's lesson will be focusing on how both prefixes and suffixes affect our understanding of ownership. Just like in our VAI unit, where we use prefixes and suffixes to illustrate who was verbing or doing the action, we will use the same prefixes to different suffixes to express who owns what. For example, my phone versus your phone versus our phone versus all of our phones, and etc. So extended pronouns. Now we talked a bit about this in our VAI unit, and these will be prevalent in our ownership lesson. So extended pronouns are pronoun prefixes with an additional sound. It appears that extended pronouns are prevalent among many Eastern dialects of Nishnaabemwin. Some use a DI or a DA or a DOO sound. So di, da, or do. Nipissing Nishnaabemwin uses the do extended pronoun. You can use the extended pronoun on any verb in present tense, but I do recommend you follow some rules I'll explain. So when to use extended pronouns. You can choose to always use the extended pronouns and overproduce. That's number one. Or if a verb or noun begins with the same letter as the pronoun prefix. So for example, if this word here, sit-tum, means she or he understands. If you want to say I understand, we would usually put an N prefix there. But because we don't have a double N sound in Ojibwe, it's probably better to use our extended pronoun ndo. Like so, ndo sit-tum, I understand. Our next example is if a verb or noun has a cluster of consonant sounds at the beginning of the word. So for example, we got mgishin. So we got mg in front here. If we were to put an N or a G sound in front, it would be very difficult to say mgishin or gmgishin. So that's where our extended pronoun will help make things easier. So we got gdomgishin. So we got gdomgishin for you are falling. So extended pronouns versus tense markers. Some people interpret the extended pronoun for present tense. The following is my personal arguments as to why do is not present tense. So this is for Mr. McLeod's arguments only. So I have two categories. So when and where tense markers are used versus when and where extended pronouns are used. So the first one, tense markers appear as prefixes for every verb. So when you think about past tense, gi, you use it on VIIs, VAIs, VTIs, and VTAs, all verbs. Extended pronouns never appear for VII words because there are no pronoun prefixes. Tense markers appear in between the verb and every pronoun prefix for VAI words. So when you think about gi, we, ga, they appear in between, and da, they appear in between every N and G sound and the verb. Extended pronouns only appear after the N and G pronoun prefixes, so we don't attach them in front of a third person singular or third person plural verbs. Tense markers are used consistently among all dialects. So as we discussed earlier, our extended pronouns are not consistently universal among all dialects. All dialects use gi as past tense, we is indefinite, ga or da is definite future, and da is modal. Whereas extended pronouns, a couple slides back, we discussed how de could be used as an extended pronoun, or da, and do. Lastly, tense markers never appear in front of nouns. So we never have a gi in front of a noun for ownership. But extended pronouns do in fact appear in front of nouns that we will go over in today's lesson. So that's why I exclusively use do as an extended pronoun, because it extends the N and G sound. And so, yeah, those are my arguments for why do is more of a pronoun than a tense marker. So singular pronoun ownership for bagwayan, shirt, or ninj, hand. So first person singular possession, so that's the I or me. So we either use an N sound or an do. And so we use an N sound for bagwayan, and then do, our extended pronoun, because that N sound is the same as that N sound. So we got bagwayan and do ninj. So that means my shirt, my hand. You can see the color coding. The blue represents me or my. Next one. So we're going to pluralize this now. So first person singular possession, we're using the nouns plural suffix. So we got nbagwayanan and ndoninjin. So we use the noun's own personal plural suffix. So nbagwayanan means my shirts, and doninjin, my hands. Next we have second person singular possession, ge or gedo as our prefix. And so we got kabagwayan and gadasmatig. So we have that D sound there because this noun, osmatig, starts with a vowel sound. So kabagwayan means your shirt, and gadasmatig means your wall. Now we're doing the plural versions. So again, use the noun's own personal plural suffix. So kabagwayanan, an for the bagwayan, and gadasmatgon, so use a oon for osmatig. So kabagwayanan means your shirts, and gadasmatgon means your walls. All right. So we're continuing on with our single pronoun ownership, bagwayan shirt, ninj hand, and pquaquid ball. So now we're doing third person singular. So we're adding the noun's personal plural suffix. So we got bibis bagwayanan, bibis ninjin, and bibis pquaquidon. So we used all three of our suffixes for our nouns. So third person singular, his or her stuff. So the baby's shirt, bibis bagwayanan. This could be pluralized too, depending on context. Bibis ninjin, the baby's hand. Bibis pquaquidon, the baby's ball. So now we're getting to fourth person's possession. So this is like fourth person stuff. So we have bibis chikagnan, because that's their fourth person marker, and then this is the fifth person marker here. So bibis chikagnan bagwayanin, bibis chikagnan ninjne, and then bibis chikagnan pquaquidne. So fourth person stuff, we got the baby's toys shirt, the baby's toys hand, and lastly the baby's toys ball. So third person singular possession is another way to say fourth person's someone's stuff. And fourth person possession is another way to say fifth person. So someone stuffs stuff. Because we got the someone, the baby, someone stuffs. So toy, and then stuff. The second stuff is the shirt, hand, or ball. So now we're getting into plural pronoun ownership. So now we're going to do the first person plural and the 2-to-1 person. So first person plural, we have an N sound in front and then an inaan for the pluralized person, and then the in for plural. So first person plural is ours but not you. And then 2-to-1 person, it's in purple because that G sound is red. That represents the you. And the inaan represents the us. So red and blue make purple. And then we have an in for how to plural, if our noun is pluralized. And then the 2-to-1 person is all of ours. So for example, first person plural possession singular is Nbagwayan inaan. And then Indopquaquid inaan. So this Nbagwayan inaan means our shirt. Indopquaquid inaan means our ball. Next we're pluralizing. So we got Nbagwayan inaan in. And then Indopquaquid inaan in. So pluralized version, Nbagwayan inaan in means our shirts. Indopquaquid inaan in means our balls. Next, we're doing the 2-to-1 person. So this is if the noun is just singular. So we got Gabagwayan inaan, and then Gadasmat ginan. So Gabagwayan inaan means all of our shirt, and Gadasmat ginan means all of our wall. So if you were sharing a room with someone, you'd have a wall that you guys would be sharing. And then if our nouns were pluralized, so we got Gabagwayan inaan in, and then Gadasmat ginan in. So Gabagwayan inaan in means all of our shirts, and then Gadasmat ginan in means all of our walls. So a room rarely has less than. They usually have more than one wall, anyways. All right, nouns that end in N sounds use the plural possessive noun suffix inaan. So we have 3 stress patterns. So we have a consonant, vowel sound, and then the N sound. So we got wasech gun, so consonant, vowel, and then consonant, and that word's window. So you can see how it's color coded here. So consonant, vowel, A, and then N sound. So if you were going to say our window, it would be nwasech ganan, nwasech ganinan, because we have that N sound, so we need that I there to differentiate between the two N sounds. Next, we have stress pattern B. So we have vowel, consonant, vowel, noun. So for example, mdueweshchigan, phone. So we have a black N here, yellow vowel here, so that's the A. Consonant sound is a G sound in red, and then a vowel sound in blue here, I. V for vowel, C for consonant. And so when we add in the inaan, we have ndomdweweschig ninan. So notice how we got rid of that yellow A sound. So ndomdweweschig ninan. So if you ever have a noun that has this pattern and you add the inaan suffix to it, make sure to get rid of that vowel sound right there. And then this is also for nouns that end in N sounds, okay? So like wasech gun, doeweshchik gun, because all the N sounds. And then the last one here, stress pattern C. So we got V for vowel, C for consonant, and then we have a double V for a long vowel sound, and then an N sound. So our example here is Bugwayan, shirt. So we have black N here. So a yellow double vowel. So a double A here is our double vowel sound. Consonant sound is in red. Y is red here. Then a vowel here in blue. Vowel here in blue. So we got Mbugwe on Inaan. So we didn't drop anything. So if your noun has a double vowel right here in this pattern, you wouldn't drop the vowel sounds. You would for stress pattern B, but not for A and C. So keep note of that when you're inflecting your nouns for ownership. So plural pronoun ownership for second person plural and third person plural. So here we have second person plural, which means all of you or all of your. So we have a get in front and a wa in back. So ge is our singular pronoun suffix, and then wa is the plural pronoun suffix, or prefix and suffix. And then we have an N sound if the inanimate noun is pluralized. And then for our third person plural, we just have a wa at the end. And then if the inanimate noun is pluralized, then we have an N sound, and that means their stuff. So second person plural possession singular. So we got gewigwamwa, and then gedopkwakwadwa. So gewigwamwa means all of your guys' house, or all of your house. And then gedopkwakwadwa means all of your ball. So if you guys had a ball that you guys were playing with and I wanted to join in or something, this might be a word I would use. So if it's pluralized in second person plural, we just add an N sound to the end. So gewigwamwan and gedopkwakwadwan. So gewigwamwan means all of your houses. So if I was talking to all my friends about their houses, this is what I could say. And then gedopkwakwadwan, all of your balls. So if you guys all had some games with multiple balls, this might be a word we would use. Next is third person plural possession. And then the inanimate noun is singular. So wigwamwa and osmatigwa. So wigwamwa means their house, and osmatigwa means their wall. So we're talking about a group of people that have a house and a group of people that share a wall. And then if the noun is pluralized, wigwamwan and osmatigwan. So wigwamwan means their houses. See the gray S there, gray N there for pluralized, and osmatigwan, their walls. So today's lesson summary, that's it for today's lesson. So in Ojibwe, we use morphology in the form of a singular prefix and a plural suffix around our inanimate nouns to illustrate which of our 8 out of 9 pronouns owns that inanimate noun. Third person singular possession is also known as fourth person, and it just uses the inanimate noun's plural suffix. Fourth person's possession uses the ini suffix on the inanimate noun and is also known as our fifth person. First person singular and second person singular are demonstrated with the prefixes n or ndo for first person and ge or gedo for second person. And if the inanimate noun is pluralized, we use their natural plural suffix. So the we's are illustrated by using the singular pronoun prefixes n or ndo, ge or gedo, along with the plural pronoun suffix inaan for singular possession and inaanin for plural possession. Second person plural is illustrated by using the second person singular pronoun prefix ge or gedo, along with the plural pronoun suffix wa for singular possession or wan for plural possession. Then the third person plural is illustrated purely with the plural pronoun suffix wa for singular possession or wan for plural possession. So miigwech besindweyeg misai aja. Thanks for listening to me. that's it for today. So now we're going to go over the worksheet so you guys know what to do. All right. So we have true or false. So the word here is squandem, means window. So if you happen to forget the word for window or squandem, remember you can always look it up in our dictionary. Squandem. So squandem means door. So this is false. And if it's false, we got to correct the English. So squandem means door. All right, it's pretty straightforward. So I'll leave the rest of these for you guys to do on your own. If you come across a word you don't know, you could always look it up in the dictionary that we've shared. Next, we have number 2, multiple choice. So we got mzine gun, either means paper or pillow, paper, room, or mask. So again, you don't know what the word mzine gun means? That's what our dictionary is for. So mzine gun. So we got mzine gun here, means paper or book. So the only option here we have is paper. Just highlight that. All right. So again, pretty straightforward for multiple choice. I'll leave the rest for these for you guys to do on your own. Oh, number 3 here. So how do we tell which nouns are inanimate? So in our presentation or our lesson today, we learned that if nouns are with a plural suffix that ends in an N sound are inanimate. So that's how you tell if a noun is inanimate. All right, so we got to match the pronouns to the Ojibwe pronouns. So we got these Ojibwe pronouns here and then these English pronouns here. So let's go with the first one here, ween. So again, we went over this in our lesson. So ween means she or he. So ween, she or he. So we put in a G here. And then we can cross that out here. All right, so match the Ojibwe pronouns to the linguistic symbols. So we got the linguistic symbols down here. First person plural, etc. So we got to find which one is first person plural. Let's go back to our lesson here. So first person plural is the win. That's the we exclusive. So that is E. All right, so I'll cross that out. Leave the rest of these for you guys to do. All right, so what is Nipissing's extended pronoun and how does it relate to noun possession? So our extended pronoun in Nipissing, let's see here. So in Nipissing, we use the do as an extended pronoun. And we use it if the pronoun shares the same initial sound as the noun, or if there's a cluster like Pequawwood. It would be very hard to say an N or a G sound in front of Pequawwood because of that PKW sound. And then for ninj, our word for hand starts with an N sound. So it wouldn't be ninj for my hand. It's probably better to say do ninj for my hand. So that's how you answer that question. What is the term that surmises third person singular possession? So what is another way to say third person singular possession? So third person singular possession is another way to say fourth person, someone's stuff. How do we demonstrate an inanimate noun is owned by first person singular and second person singular? So what do we add to the front or to the back to make it first person singular or second person singular? So fill that out here. All right. So what are the prefixes and or suffixes for our first person plural, 2 to 1 person, second person plural, and third person plural? And so I don't know what for inanimate nouns. I don't know why I have so much stuff here. So first person plural, have an N sound in front. That's the prefix. And then the suffix is inaan. If it's pluralized, we'll go with, or I guess we can go do as our prefix. And then our suffix inaan. And then if it's pluralized, in front. And then inanin. And then ndo. Oops. Ndo. And then inanin for pluralize. So we got singular over here and plural over there. All right. So 2 to 1 person, that's where we have the G sound in front. I don't know why it's so small right now. All right. So it's pretty much the same as the one above. We're just changing the N sounds to G sounds. And then we got the plural there, inanin. Last one here, do. Oops. And then inanin. So I'll leave the rest of those for you guys to do on your own. For the second person plural, third person plural. What is the plural suffix for a noun possessed by singular pronouns? And what is the plural suffix for nouns possessed by plural pronouns? So what would we add here to the end of here? What would we add to the end of these ones here for plural? And then first person singular, second person singular, what do we add to those? All right. Next, 11. Reorganize the words to form VII sentences and translate. So we got onde, the g prefix or suffix, abab kug-un, te, it's a word, and then n prefix, and then an prefix, and a d that goes in between two sounds. So let's type in onde and see what comes up in our dictionary. So onde is an adverb interrogative for where, what, why. And if I remember correctly, onde is one of our B form grammar patterns. Onde plus B form. So we got onde is our first word. Te. Let's look up te in our dictionary. Oops. Te. I'm sure a lot of words mean te, but yeah, let's. So here we go. So means is and refers to location. So that's our verb. That's our VII word. And then we have a G suffix. which is our B form suffix in VII. All right, so we got on to tag. So this is gone. This is gone. And this is gone. Meaning all that we have left are this, this, and this. So we know this is a prefix. This goes in between two sounds. And this is a suffix. And this word here, let's look up this word here. Abab kagan. So abab kagan means key. And look, it has an an suffix. Just like that, an. So means key. So keys. So we're asking where the keys are. And then an N sound in front. But there's a vowel sound, so we need that D sound in there. So all right, and count back to our third last consonant sound here. So N last, second last, another N. G is the last one. Vowel sound here. Short vowel sound here, and get rid of it, just like that gray sound. Gray indicates. So that N sound in front means mine. So we're asking here, where is my keys? All right. So I just did that first one for you, and I'll leave the rest of these for you guys to do on your own. Next, we have some translation part here. So we got Inanimate Nishnaabemwin. This really should say Jagna Shimian because these are already in Ojibwe. So we got to translate that into English. So we got Ndo. So that's mine. So Mdwe Chigun. You don't remember that what that means? Look it up. So phone. So we're talking about my phone. Na is our question indicator. And then Bikshka. If you don't remember what that means. So we got my phone, question, and then Bikshka. What does Bikshka mean? Broken. Oops. All right. So let's change this into a question now. Oops. Is my phone broken? There we go. So that's how you do those. All right. So what is the suffixes and or prefixes for fourth person possession? Do we add suffixes or prefixes? What are they? And what is another concept or term for fourth person possession? So again here, so what did we add to the front of the nouns to make it fourth person? And then what is another way to refer to fourth person possession? All right. That's it for today. Miigwech misaye nongo ma miigwech besindweeg mina. Thanks again for listening to me, and have a nice day. Bamapi.